This podcast is produced by the Harwood Productions Podcast Network. To learn more about the network and to find more of our shows, visit us online at www.harwoodpodcast.com.
To find out how you can help kickstart our latest show live from Base 6, visit our website and click on the Kickstarter icon. Hi, I'm Cindy Harris, and in this episode I'm going to share with you my recipe for my sour cream coffee cake muffins. These are a great muffin for breakfast because not only are they delicious, but they have this great little filling of some chopped nuts, cinnamon, and brown sugar right in the middle. So we're first going to start by making the filling for our muffins. So I'm going to go ahead and get 1/4 cup of brown sugar and put it in a small bowl. And then I want to get 1/4 cup of some finely chopped nuts. Now I'm using a walnut today, but you could use a pecan if you'd like. And I'm going to go ahead and put this in the bowl. And then 1/2 teaspoon of cinnamon. Then I'm just going to take a spoon and I'm going to just mix those ingredients together. If your brown sugar has any lumps in it, kind of flatten those out with your spoon so that the cinnamon and the nuts can get nicely mixed up with that brown sugar. That looks good. Now I'm going to get my muffin tin ready, and I'm going to go ahead and put in some cupcake liners because I find that that just makes cleanup so much easier. Now we're going to go over to our mixer and start making our batter. So I'm going to start by getting 1/2 cup of butter, and I'm going to go ahead and cube it. And to do that, I cut it in half lengthwise and then in half lengthwise again, and then I gather it together and just cut it into these little cubes. I find this really helps the butter cream up nicely. I'm just going to go ahead and put that in the mixer. Now to the butter, I'm going to go ahead and add 1/2 cup of sugar and 2 eggs. And then I'm going to go ahead and put this on a low speed and get this starting to mix up. Now I'm measuring out 1 cup of sour cream. Now I'm using light sour cream today, but you can use whatever you have on hand. And I'm using one of these adjustable cups. And these are kind of handy when you have something kind of sticky like sour cream. All you have to do is stop your mixer, and then you just take the cup and you kind of press the plunger of it down. It just sort of pushes all that sour cream out. It's pretty handy. And then to the sour cream, I'm going to add 1 teaspoon of vanilla. And then I'm going to put my mixer back down and let that mix up really well. Now I'm going to go ahead and get my dry ingredients together. So I'm going to go ahead and measure out 2 cups of flour. I'm just going to put this in a medium-sized bowl. Then I'm going to add 1 teaspoon of baking powder, 1 teaspoon of baking soda, and last but not least, 1/4 teaspoon of salt. I'm going to take my little whisk and just mix those ingredients together. It's important that we get that leavening dispersed all throughout that flour. So now I'm going to lift my mixer up and I'm going to take all the flour and put it right in. And then I'm just going to turn this on a very slow speed. And I'm going to let this blend until everything comes together, which will take less than a minute. That's about it. Now because we just let this mix until the flour came together, it's real important that we get our spatulas in here and kind of do one last stir. And then we're ready to go ahead and put our muffins together. Now for these coffee cake muffins, we have kind of a layered thing going on. We have a little bit of batter, a little bit of our filling, some more batter, and then some more filling on top. So I'm going to use my tiny little cookie scoop, which is about 1 tablespoon of batter. So I'm first going to go through and just put 1 tablespoon in each of the muffin wells. Now after I put the 1 tablespoon in, I am going to kind of move that batter around just so that it covers the bottom of the well. And then I'm going to go ahead and put 1 tablespoon of my filling on top. And then I'm going to go ahead and divide the rest of the batter up on top. And then I'm just going to divide the rest of that filling, put a little sprinkle right on top. I've preheated my oven to 375 degrees, and these are going to bake from between 20 to 25 minutes. So these have been in the oven for about 20 minutes, and as always, I like to take a toothpick and pop it into the muffin. And then you see when you pull it out, see how nice and clear that is? That tells me that these are baked all the way through. Now I'm going to let these sit in the pan for about 5 minutes, and then I'll go ahead and take them out and put them on the cooling rack to cool the rest of the way. So it's been about 5 minutes, and these have cooled down enough so that I can easily get them out of the muffin tin, and they smell really good. So I want to go ahead, and these are great if you can let them sit and cool even for about another half an hour. I find that if you try to eat something baked like this while it's still really, really hot, you lose a lot of the flavor. So if you can keep everybody away from them for about a half an hour more, then they'll taste really good for breakfast. Well, if you'd like to give these delicious sour cream coffee cake muffins a try, just go to our website, visit the Nothin But Muffins show notes. I'll have the recipe there for you. And as always, if you have any questions, send me an email. I'll see you next time.